All right, let's say about 2.5 weeks ago, I go to a strip club, which is why I don't like to go to a strip club. 'Cause a lot of times you just end up wasting your money. By the way, guys, this is not gonna be like an edited video. Just listen to me. Whether you're busy doing stuff, you should be doing stuff. You should be busy as a man. You should be handling stuff. Or if you just relax and listen to my silky voice, just get some snacks, get a drink, and just relax. All right. I'm just gonna share with you my experience of dealing with an anti-social stripper. That's right. You ever heard of an anti-social stripper? That doesn't even make sense, does it? Because you would think that if you walk in, right, and you see a stripper who obviously there because she needs money, because I don't know who in their right minds would want to be a stripper just for the fun of it. Okay, maybe you saw a TikToker or a YouTube video or a Facebook video of a girl capping about how much money she's making, or maybe she's making some decent money for now, because that's how it goes. If you're making some money, you kind of get that high in the beginning, like, oh, I can actually do this forever. And then you realize as you get older, things aren't as tight as it used to be as far as your body is firm. And you might not even like yourself afterwards because you're grinding on strange men all day. So, yeah, it's just not really a promising gig, especially with OF models. The average OF model makes $150 per month. That's $2K a year. That's not even counting taxes. But anyway, I digress. I walk in. This had to have been like a slow night. Let's say Thursday. I kind of work close by a strip club. I just said I'm just about to go there. Mind you, I had no drink. I'm just up there chilling. And I go inside. No one's there. My guy from high school, works there. He's the manager. His job is to make sure all the girls are like up and ready to go, and he get a tip out. But here's the thing, right? A lot of the girls weren't even there. There's only like 2 chicks there. Now, I walk in. It's one big guy. He's kind of like, like you can kind of like guys who look like me. I'm an attractive dude. I don't have to go to the strip club. I just say, let me just go. I haven't been in a while. Let's just go, whatever. I go inside. Now, 2 girls, very mid. There wasn't like a lot of girls in there. And of course, the middest ones were there. And this light skinned chick, again, she wasn't mid in the face, but I ain't gonna say it again. I don't know why I said it again as if I said this the first time. Okay. She wasn't like mid in the face, but she's big. So like she literally was built like an ice cream cone, like a melted ice cream, I should say, actually, to be exact. And so I'm just looking like, okay, well, I'm not really left with a lot of options in here. I got like $25, $30, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to use their ATM because the ATM tax a lot. Okay. So I go inside and she kind of whispered over to her friend. She saw me after the light skinned chick kind of whispered over to her friend and didn't even want to get up from the bar because they were sitting at the bar while I was sitting down. Nobody was on the pole. There's only 2 chicks there. And I'm just looking like, okay, I sit next to them and stuff. Again, mind you, I don't get greeted at all. Like, I don't get greeted. I don't get a hello. It's kind of weird because, like, if you walk into a barber shop, right, and, like, the barber's never seen you as a client, they're going to ask you, hey, do you got an appointment? Are you new? Who you looking for? Because if you are new and they've never seen you, they want you to be their client, right, their possible future client. So they're going to at least show some type of hospitality. For some reason, though, I didn't get that from these girls at all. They just whispered to each other and just, stayed antisocial, which kind of didn't even say hello. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the man. I'm coming in here. I should at least get a hello. I guess none of that. And then I'm just like, okay, so what's going on? And then I sit there and I sit next to them. Not that I'm trying to get their attention so much, but I just sit next to them. I'm like, let me just go get a Red Bull because I don't really drink like that anymore. So I sit next to them watching a baseball game, literally nothing on her phone, as if I'm some type of weirdo at a mall trying to like talk to a girl after her boyfriend just went to the bathroom or something. Like, so I ain't saying nothing at all. I'm just looking like, what in my mind? I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm talking about these chicks are very obese. I think the average woman in this country weighs like 170, and you got the nerve to be so she was at least like 200. She was like 200. She had to been close to that. 198, 197, like on some 2K rating shit, like literally. And I'm just looking like, hello? So I'm just looking like, okay, I ain't saying anything. I just got up and left, and then she just got up. And I'm just like, I went to like my guy, he's the manager. I'm just like, that's kind of weird that she's just standoffish. Like, what? I've never seen it. Every time I've went there before, like I've been there many times. I've always had some chick trying to get at me, and not get at me like she's interested. I'm talking about like just trying to get a dance. But I mean, I'm talking like now, mind you, I went like the next week or whatever, and I had a chick who she was strapped, single mother type shit, but she was strapped. I ain't gonna take them seriously, but it was just weird that she did that. And I told him, I was just like, man, like that's kind of weird that she was standoffish. And I'm just like, cause your goal is to try to make as much money as possible. You know, bills are due. You have to pay your tip out. That's like if you at a barbershop, right? Let's say you at a barbershop. And give me 1 second. You know, I got to turn off this pizza real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. So anyway, so I'm just like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, she's just kind of acting standoffish. Like, I've never seen you know, you go to a place and there's no hello, there's no any of that stuff. And so I tell my guy this at work. You know, I work. He's a security at where I work. I ain't gonna disclose where I work at, but he just said, yeah, I worked as a bouncer before at a strip club, and she probably was insecure. She probably looked at you because, you know, I'm a clean cut guy, and you don't look like you're like a simp, you know, like for a better word or whatever, you know, because he was saying other things, but he was just like, yeah, she probably was just going through it or whatever. But see, as a man, I'm just looking at it. I'm just saying to myself, that can't be me. I can't be in a, even nights where like I've worked at a customer service spot, I try my best to never be that way, because it's like at the end of the day, especially like if you work off tips or if you work off just like, you know, your customer service rep or stuff like that, where people can complain about you, you don't want to ever just like have those type of nights. Now, granted, I understand. I want to be very clear. I am not trying to force anybody to dance on me, right? I'm not saying just because of that, that's, you know, you automatically owe me this, but I just want to be very clear. You have bills to pay. You chose this profession, and you have the nerve to not even be polite. Now, some girls I may turn down for a dance if I'm not feeling it that night, or I'm not even feeling her. But like, you know, there's another girl I'm trying to feel on. You know what I mean? But it's just like, for you to be standoffish though, not even a smile, and then you built like Patrick Star. I was just thrown off by that. You know, and you know, I was telling other people, and they was kind of saying the same sentiment, like, yeah, she probably wasn't, or she probably just looked at you and thought you weren't gonna be that type of dude that's gonna spin. But I'm not. Like, she's obese, I'm in shape, I'm fit. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm me. You know what I mean? And it's just like, for her to do that, it was just like, wow, this is a lot of these women don't get it. Like, you guys are already struggling doing sex work. That's what that is. It's sex work, stripping and doing all of that stuff, and then you have the nerve to not even be in shape. Okay, you're obese, overweight, probably likely past your prime, likely a single mother, probably not, who knows. But either way, it's like, y'all do these things, y'all get in these professions, and then it's just like y'all meet guys and y'all just not feeling it. I haven't missed a shift in almost 3 years at my job, and I've lost family, I've been sick. Now, I'm not comparing everybody to me. I'm gonna get up and go to work and do my job. My job is very rigorous and very hard, but at the same time, it's like, I'm glad like I don't have that mindset. That's why a lot of these women, listen, man, just find you a man, dude, because it's hard to be. It's getting rougher out here. It's about to be winter soon. A lot of people getting evicted. A lot of these chicks can't pay their car notes. It's happening, man. So I just kind of want to end on that. I just thought that was just very intriguing that I met somebody who was just an antisocial stripper. I've met a stripper once who literally, you know, they usually go off a dance, like off of a song. You know, that's how the dance works. You pay like 25, 30, whatever you are. I don't know what the cost is. And, you know, like I said, them ATM fees be a lot. So you probably don't want to get your money out of the ATM if you're going to spend cash. But the point is that, yeah, this one chick literally sat me back down after another dance, and it was like, listen, I don't want to be in places like that anymore. I don't recommend strip clubs, to be honest with you, unless you don't mind it. I mean, at least for me, it was just a waste of time, a waste of money for sure, especially if you're not drinking. Like, it's at least, to me, it's a better experience. But when you're just like sober and you realize like where you are and how nasty these chicks be, you could tell they probably don't shower like that well, and you know, it's just like they're already doing stuff, they're grinding on dudes or whatever. It's just really not like a good spot. So I probably won't be going back for like a while, or at all. I think you know, I cut out the drinking, you know, cutting out things that's not good for me, not trying to be on social media, definitely stuff the porn, definitely work to that's not, in today's world, it's not easy for men. Okay, it's doing a lot of harmful to you, you know, your body, your mental. Work out, meditate, do all that stuff, man. So hey, nothing else. Hope you guys enjoyed this rant and this video. Again, this is not going to be one of them channels where I heavily edit it. I work too much. Just listen. If you pay for YouTube Premium, you can listen to me on lock screen. It'll just be that simple. Hope you guys find this entertaining a little bit. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If nothing else, stay forever locked in.